Hey, what's going on, guys? Star here, and today I'm going to be going over one of my games that I just played. Normally I don't play games. Normally I don't go over my games, but this is an exception. As you can see, I got only 2 average centipede loss, and I was able to keep advantage throughout the game, make no mistakes or blunders. Most I had was an accuracy, but if I were to look, it would tell me exactly where that was. So we started off d4, c6, simple queen's pawn game, and then I went for a London system. So when they played their bishop out here, playing bishop d6, long story short, I wanted to retreat, so that way, if they captured, I could always play h2 capture g3. That way I can open up the advantages for my rook on the h file. So that's exactly what they did, but then they played h5. So the only issue with h5 is that it just doesn't develop anything. All it does is get the pawn further out there, and as you can see, I can continue my development. They start developing again. I play queen to e2. My main goal is so I can capture that pawn now at this point. And then they play f5. So they're giving me the opportunity to attack both the pawn and further develop my knight. So, of course, I take that opportunity. But since they didn't play pawn g6, they played knight to d7 instead, I was able to take the pawn. Now, at this point, they should have realized, oh, well, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. Maybe I should retreat. But no, they continued capturing. So I captured with queen, put them in check. They played pawn protects. I played queen h8. Now, at this point, they may as well have resigned, but they didn't. So that's what I like about this game as well. They played knight to g8. I captured knight. They played king to e7. So I went with the easiest move I could get and captured the pawn on g6, putting their king into check once more. So when they had to retreat their king, I had now a free queen, and at this point I had a missed win. Because instead of playing what I should have, as the engine says, I could have played c5, f4, like all these moves I could have easily won. But I didn't see the maiden 5. So instead, I played bishop to a6, thinking that they were automatically going to capture. Which, as the engine suggests, is the best move. They took into account, though, that I could be pre-moving, and they played bishop b7. Now, at this point, I had actually pre-moved, so immediately they took, but at this point I was so far ahead, it really just did not matter all that much. I continued developing my pawns, trading, because I'm ahead. Now I'm trying to trade my knights, so I trade knights. And now I'm getting my pieces further out there, trying to trade more and more pieces. Stopping their pawn from advancing, lost a pawn in the process, no biggie. Started moving my king in, started getting some free checks on their king. And I was starting to be able to capture their pieces. Now at this point, this was a blunder, because if they had done that, I probably would have had a lot more of an issue in terms of beating them. But they had a pre-move themselves and played king e4. So I just happily took my piece. Now at this point, I could have just been capturing with my bishop, just having my own merry way. But I just decided to start advancing my pawn. After advancing my pawn, see, the only issue with them being able to advance their pawn is when they promote, I capture. Now, how this would have continued in a perfect game, they play pawn a7, I move queen to g8, and at this point, it's pretty much game over. And now it's game over. So it was only a main 2 or 3. They really didn't have much time, because last they had a minute 36 and I had a minute 23. Too much time to possibly fail. So that's me going over my almost perfect game. My one inaccuracy was playing bishop to a6, when I do admit I should have moved one of my other pieces around and just stuck with the easy queen. I would have been able to, when I played, if instead I had played knight here, they could have captured, which they probably would. Oh, no, my bad. They would have tried to capture. Wouldn't have worked, and I would have had a much stronger position. So, anyways, guys, that's me going over my game. And thanks for watching. If you liked the video, please leave a like, subscribe. If you got any ideas for future content, please leave a comment. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys.